A Ford Mustang TT4.
Dominant fashion, Kylie Glenn.
Yeah!
Random.
Area 51 podcast. This Cap Houston right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 71 of the Area 51 Racing Podcast. We got Dave, we got Rob. How you guys doing today?
Doing good, Bobby.
Doing good, man. I'm excited to have our guests on today. We got some big announcements.
Yes, sir. We've got Mark, and Ryan. How you guys doing?
All is well. Glad to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, doing great. Appreciate you having us on. I think it's been a while since we've been on, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, hopefully we will not disappoint tonight.
From episode 50 or from episode 1 to episode 41 to now 71.
We are thrilled to be returned, yes, with you guys and everything you guys do, not only in support of the JCR 51 team, but what you're doing for the motorsports fan base in general. Because I think all of us, all six of us currently on this podcast, how do we grow this sport one fan at a time and bring more young people into it? So that's our mission right now.
Yes, sir. So you guys got some big announcements, as you can tell in front of Ryan. They got the new beer cans.
Yeah. Hot off the press. It's pretty good too. Got these for sale at Rockers. I think they're going to try to sell some in the stadium at the baseball game on Wednesday if folks are coming out for that. So that's a really good one, and it's pretty good. It's a little different recipe from the previous Racing Fuel that was in the 12-ounce can. So I would encourage everybody to come out and buy some, and we might can get some shipped out if we need to.
Mark, why don't we show off edition 1?
Yeah, here we go. This is the original one that we I would say Ryan kind of spearheaded the project along with the local brewer here. And it's I don't know, do you remember what the run was of how many cases?
I don't remember on that one. I know they made a bunch of kegs of it, and this is actually sold really well at the brewery. The draft that they're selling the kegs there, they sold through all the kegs, and they're looking at maybe trying to run some more. So I don't know if we'll have it on tap on Wednesday, but there'll be cans available.
Yeah, I do know on the initial 51 Racing Fuel that they did 2 production runs of that. So depending on how this is going, we can request an additional production run as well. I do want to make sure that we give credit to Tom at Carolina Driveline, because the 4 of us and Jeremy were sitting at Rockers after one of Jeremy's live show and after the Daytona victory, and Tom said we ought to do this. And, it was a great idea. And I was like, yes, we absolutely should do this. And the guys at Rockers, who are always great to deal with, obviously good partner of Ryan for the radio station. And it was nothing but a lot of fun. And certainly that led to us doing the Racing Fuel t-shirt as well, which has probably been through 4 printings for us. And hot off the press, picked up today. We've got here's the front side. This is the 51 Racing Fuel 2.0 edition. And Ryan, as he was showing on his can there, and it might be hard to see on this, we've got all of our associate sponsors listed on the can, as well as all of our local partners. And I think one thing that the 3 of us at this table have done was this car in general, after we got the Spartanburgers on the car last year, even before the stadium was done, we wanted this to be a local based car. And we have 8 or 9 locally based businesses on this car, including 2 heavy hitter first timers in the associate slots. We've got USC Upstate, who is not only a huge supporter of Fox Sports Spartanburg, and Ryan's radio station is the voice of their teams, but they're a huge supporter of Jeremy. And for 3 years in a row, they've had Jeremy Clements night at the basketball arena. Typically kicks off, before Daytona. We're doing it again next year, but so they're on the car for the first time. Clayton Construction, a local contractor that does a lot also for Upstate. and certainly they're excited to be on the car for the first time. And then you've got, our heavy hitters that we all love, folks like the Racing Warehouse and Alliance Driveaway, who, both those guys have a huge commitment to Jeremy's team this year. And then Harrison's, is, also with Alliance, the huge commitment to the team. And then certainly Christy and Eric and their team at the Racing Warehouse, they'll be here for Jeremy Clements night at the ballpark next week. And Tate, his wife and son will be at the ballpark next week. We've got the guys from Beach Ridge Barbershop flying down from Maine. We've got Abby and friends coming.
Close proximity to Rockers, but Jamie at Elite Towing, he'll have the car at Rockers sometime before 4. I won't commit him to a time, but he usually gets it there early. So we'll have the car outside there, and then the city and the baseball team had kind of decided around 4 o'clock would be the best time to actually crank the car up, get it ready, drive it around the AC Hotel through the left field gate, and then we'll have it on the main concourse there. So that'll happen at 4, just because with the gates opening around 5:30 and needing to make sure, traffic wise, that they could bring the car around without any issues. So hopefully some folks can get out a little bit early. But then after that, the gates don't open until 5:30. So some folks may walk back over to Rockers, hang out there for a little bit. And then with the game starting at 6:30, I don't have the specific time all the folks at the Spartanburgers could get us for us. Jeremy is going to throw out the first pitch, which is fairly substantial amount of time before 6:30. I don't know the exact time. So if you want to see the first pitch, I would say 6 o'clock. We'll try to get some clarity on that. But if folks want to be in the stadium to see whether he throws a strike or throws it in the ground, we've been telling him to practice. I don't know how much he's been practicing, but we've been encouraging him to practice. So if you want to see that, I would say get to the ballpark early. If you're able to get there when the car comes around, maybe go back to Rockers, have a beer or so. Yeah, have a couple cans of racing fuel. And then if you want to see the first pitch and all the pregame festivities, definitely get there before 6:30 because they'll do that well in advance.
And just for point of reference, it really to walk from RJ Rockers to the stadium is like a 3-minute walk. I mean, it's right there together.
Yeah, and the other thing, the first 500 fans that are coming into the stands, we have produced a Jeremy Clements commemorative bobblehead doll for this event that, really, and what we should talk about here is that, the three of us here, every car that we've ever done with Jeremy, Ryan will do associate sponsors as well, but when we're co-primaries, we're always together and we alternate positions on the car. And this one, Spartan Waste was going to be on the hood. That was our position. And as I thought about it and we talked about it, it just made better sense to celebrate the team. And, Michael Maselli, that does Jeremy's car schemes, has hit this one out of the park with the characters of the baseball team.
No pun intended.
True.
Yeah.
That it's just, we're thrilled that this is taking place. So, get there early, for the bobbleheads, T-shirts to our VIP friends, such as the three of you and others. I know that this was a big production run that we'll definitely do a reorder on these T-shirts as well and want these going out across the country for fans to be wearing. And it's going to be just a bang up night. And to Ryan's point, we'll have local media there, between television and the newspaper. Jeremy, we have put heat on him to throw a strike so that we can try to get this on to like top 10 plays, on SportsCenter or something. And, and the baseball team has said, hey, look, we will have our pitching coach work with you. So, Jeremy is an athlete, the guy's in shape and the guy, has athleticism and I'm looking forward to see, what he puts up, as a product on display for the first pitch.
And Rob and I will actually be able to watch the game because I can actually watch the Spartanburgers on my TV. So I'll FaceTime you, Rob, and we'll have it so we can watch it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that is outstanding. I tell you, with Ryan's radio station is the voice of the Spartanburgers. We certainly have our relationship and are the official residential commercial trash provider of the Spartanburgers, have our compactors there. But, each homestand in the program, and I don't know if that's showing up well you know, the Spartanburgers kind of hooked us up. We got our full page ad right next to the team roster, and I appreciate that. But, you know, again, for all three of us sitting at the table, you know, this is all about local supporting local, you know, and it's the fact that Jeremy's race team is here. We're fortunate. We continue to thank Ryan for bringing us into this, because without him, we're not here. And certainly it's kind of fun because Mark and I joke we have no business certainly being at the NASCAR track, you know, other than, you know, where there is cheerleaders. We have no business being in professional baseball, but it is fun to be participating in this. So anyways, I think that's what we've got going on.
I would say that all the work that went into this
Nice.
this the stadium. I mean, we had our roll-off containers out there during the construction, and occasionally we'd be invited over to participate like in a barbecue for all of the not staff, but all the construction workers and everything there. And when you walk in, one of the first things that's very evident is one, you know, like the space shuttle countdown clock. And this is from months ago. It was a huge countdown clock, like when the first pitch will be thrown. And I mean, it was just constant pressure for everyone, you know, doesn't matter about the weather or whatever, but the support and the people in this town that are backing it, like it will happen on that day. And I'll be good. I mean, I'll be damned. I mean, it happened, and just seeing the progress that the last I would say 2 months, just that was so you would go in there to look around or to help with the compactor installation or whatever, and look around, you're like, there's no way in hell. There is no way. But they put it together. It's just a testament to teamwork, and we're so proud of Spartanburg and so proud to be a part of it. So anyway, when you do see it, the timeline for this thing to be built and the magnitude of it for this small town is just really amazing. So just don't take it for granted that it's just a beautiful place and well attended. One quick little tidbit, and I'll quit being so wordy, is some of the people that went to help design the stadium or whatever, the people that were behind it said, well, some of the seats across the nation are typically 18 inches wide. You know, if you really wanted to step up and make it nice, we can, you know, boost up the seats to be 20 inches wide. Well, all of the seats in the Hub City Spartanburgers stadium are 22 inches wide. So some heavy set people are very comfortable in the stadium. But it's the attention to detail that I'm so proud of. My father-in-law lives out of town, and when he comes in, he's like, this is just a magnificent space. And it really is, and we're very, very proud of it. And I'm glad this is a part of something we get to do.
And I will say, you know, I'm not native to Spartanburg, almost 20 years. Mark and Ryan grew up here, but the recurring theme is people can't believe this is Spartanburg, you know, when they're down there for a game. And I just went over, and this may be hard to see. This is last year's Charlotte race. At the time, the front office staff, and this is an incredible group of people at the Spartanburgers. They had 6 team members, right? And they all came to the race. And in there, Jeremy, Mark, Ryan, myself, and then Shane Martin, who is our local state senator, who also works for Chevrolet and is a huge support system for Jeremy on the season. But it's so much fun to look at this and understand where we are now 12 months later. And then, you know, this is a side thing, but I'm going to pass that over to Mark, because Mark can share. We're not too proud to trash bin. This is what we do. It's our business, right?
We were at the John, actually, the gentleman that runs our roll-off division and the compactors, was down there you know, helping oversee one of the loading of the compactors to the trucks. There was some traffic that was blocking the dumpsters. So he went in, opened the door, and saw this bat in there, and he's like, oh God, this might be the one, and we're going to assume that it was the one that hit the grand slam, the first one. So we pulled that out of the dumpster, put a little glue on it, and then we
we need more glue.
We need maybe some gorilla tape. But yeah, it's just we're just having so much fun with this.
It goes up on our wall of honor, where we also have the Racing 51 crew shirt, up here as the wall of honor as well. But, I think one thing before we went live on air, the three of us showed, and we can have Ryan stand up and model, as the most slender of the three of us, what we're wearing here. But
Yeah.
again, Michael Maselli did a bang up job on laying this out, front and center. And, we're happy to have this as a keepsake. I can share with all three of you guys that I do have crew shirts for you guys to add to your collection. And this will be good, but we will be well branded at Jeremy Clements night between the t-shirts and the crew shirts and then at the racetrack. So it's going to be a big and busy week for us next week, but for us, it'll be fun because we go, our next race is not till the fall Martinsville race. So we're going to live large, try to exceed being at Talladega a couple weeks ago, which is a tall order.
That is a tall. We had the privilege of having 5 RVs, and Jeremy stayed in one of them with his wife and his beautiful daughter Kennedy, and the entourage. I mean, going to the from like the driver introduction over to the cars, he had like a little Kevin Whitaker little Chevrolet paint and pushing it, and Kennedy had all of the checkered flag, like little pants and a shirt, and Courtney was pushing her, and Jeremy kept. You could see he was in his fire suit, and he kept taking charge and was pushing her. It was a precious little moment for that little family. It was awesome.
I will say, when I saw last year for the first time the Kevin Whitaker pink car for Kennedy, Kevin and Ryan are such great people and longtime supporters of Jeremy. I just thought, oh, damn, that was a great idea. Kudos to them. I felt jealous that we hadn't thought of it ourselves because that was certainly a gift for them that they're using all the time at the track. And branded Kevin Whitaker Chevrolet.
Yeah, absolutely. We put Kennedy in a garbage truck next time.
Yeah, we just gotta find that. So
Tell us what kind of questions you guys have about the racing season thus far and what's been going on and anything that you guys questions you might have or anything to add.
Well, first of all, thank you guys very much for thinking about
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sorry. I went and while you guys were talking, I hurried up and grabbed the jersey.
Quick little wardrobe change.
Nice.
Yeah, as always, thank you guys for the generosity and the support. You guys have been there from day one for our Bobby, Dave, and I, and we greatly appreciate it. Not only you guys great supporters, but really good friends. So we really appreciate it.
Likewise, we do as well.
Yeah.
And if I can share something about Rockers, if you are there for the beers, if I remember right, we had a full pallet full at the start of the night, and they were putting the pallet away when we left. So if you want some at Rockers, definitely pick some up, or like you said, be able to brew some or get some at
Nice.
the Spartanburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just again, thanks, John Balknight. He's a friend of all of ours, and he is the proprietor of the owner of RJ Rockers, and he is always very generous. And when we have the car out there, he will call me personally, and I'm sure he's called you guys too, and just said, "Hey, thanks for having this here. It was a great night for us, and just a great partnership." And he's always very accommodating. We did a fundraiser for Mark and I participated in the lip sync battle where we sang a couple years ago, but we were able to do a fundraiser, and we're like, "Hey, will you do this?" And he donated proceeds of the night to our calls, and he's just always a great partner to deal with. So I just want to give a shout out to John Balknight for that here in Spartanburg.
Definitely.
Now, I gotta ask, are you guys gonna do the lip sync battle again? Because that was great.
Listen, they had Mark and I speak at their when they pulled the teams together, because this event will be in September, but it's a new group, and I think they wanted us to come in and speak and tell us that we had trepidation. You know, we weren't the natural talent that perhaps other teams were, but we gave it our best shot. And I will tell you that, you know, the first time Mark and I went to Miss Marion's dance studio, you know, and stood there in t-shirts and shorts and flipping, I mean, and you know, had our first lesson and we were horrendous. And I'm like, how in the world are we going to do it? And we did. It was fun. And the group that they've assembled this year, these guys are, again, I'll use the expression, hitting it out of the park. I mean, they're far ahead fundraising wise at this point in the year where all of our group was previously, in their social media engagement. You know, these guys are coming up with routines almost every other week that they're posting. Mark and I did none of that. Thank God.
That was a one and done, but we were very happy and honored to be asked to do it. And now we can just share our support for the other ones coming behind us.
Yeah. And I think, you know, and obviously you guys live in 3 different markets, you know, the 3 of us here on this side of the table participate, you know, locally with various charities. And again, it's one of the things that the 3 of us are all in our 50s, right? Our perspective's different if we were in our 20s. You know, we realize how important it is to give back and, you know, support the area in which you live, which makes it better for everyone. And, you know, again, kind of what we're doing with Jeremy and how generous he is on his time and for different events here in town. You know, we just there's a sense of pride in Spartanburg right now. And again, not being native, I love it. But for Mark and Ryan, born and raised here, I mean, this is something for them to see through their own eyes, all the changes that have taken place.
And it's nice. I have you know, children that are, you know, one's in college, one's graduated, one lives here, and all of the growth and everything around here, you know, it's appealing for some of them to come back. I mean, I certainly hope that my kids will, you know, spread their wings and do what they want to do, but nothing would make me happier to end up back here. And with all the new amenities, such as this fabulous baseball stadium and the other things that'll follow it, I mean, I'm proud to call Spartanburg my home.
Well, it's really cool that you guys take the time to give back to the community through your business ventures and you know, where you're supporting Jeremy Clements, a homegrown thing. And the cool thing I was going to say about the car is that they're all local businesses from Spartanburg that are on the car, which is
almost,
really,
I mean, almost all. But yeah, we've got a heavy showing, and we're very proud of this.
Which is really cool because the pride, you know, the pride of Spartanburg per se is Jeremy Clements and Jeremy Clements Racing, and all the support and stuff. It's really cool. It's sort of like Rob Kikebush from Whitetail Smokeless when his cars were at Road America. He did the same thing. He got businesses from Wisconsin to be on the car and it made it extra special because showed more of an investment in the actual race team and the area and the race and everything. So kudos to you guys for everything you do. And I mean, not just for Jeremy Clements, but your community in general.
Thank you.
Yeah, we actually had reached out to Jeremy and to see if, you know, potentially could be a surprise guest with us tonight. But today is he and Courtney's 8th anniversary, and they are out to dinner, and it's also his nephew Luke's birthday today as well. So they're all out together celebrating as a family. So unfortunately, he can't be here, but he's here in spirit because he knows we're doing this, and he certainly appreciates everything you guys are doing.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Yep, and happy birthday, Luke.
Yeah,
So
it's great to be involved with that, with those guys. I mean, just when you are with Tony Clements, it's just I remember my wife, we were in Darlington and Eddie Goodson had invited us to dinner. Like we were like all the time, like, oh, this is for us too, and just such generous people. And Keenan is my wife, and she said, well, don't you worry about him when he's out, you know, it's your son, you know, racing 200 miles an hour. And Tony looked at her and Hody is, oh darling, I pray him around every lap. I mean, it just Keenan just melted. So she is a Tony Clements fan and obviously a Jeremy fan as well. But it's just the passion that a small family team has, and Courtney is also always so kind and generous, and with her time, and my father-in-law is fortunate enough to come to several races, and Courtney makes him feel right at home, and she certainly has a talent to talk to anybody and support everybody that supports him, and just a true pleasure to be around. And I think just in their core, all of them in that family are genuine people.
I
would
agree
concur.
100%.
Yeah. I think Jeremy is well respected, or the Clements organization is well respected throughout NASCAR. You know, I don't go up to anybody at the track to try to get a picture or get an autograph or things like this, but there was one race where Joe Gibbs was walking down all by himself, and I just walked up and I just said, "Hey, coach, I just wanted to say thank you for what you do for motorsports." And he grabbed my hard card and he looked at it and he said, "You're with the Clements organization?" He said, "I need to say thank you to you." He said, "The Clements family, they're good people." And I thought, wow, this is coming from a guy who won 3 Super Bowls and turned around, gets in a NASCAR and has won championships. And, kind enough to stop and say nice things about the Clements family. So certainly we're all in agreement. You 3 guys, us 3 guys, we know how special it is that we have an association with this family.
Well, I found it funny if you now read through some of Jeremy's bio. He was with Team Gibbs for a small stint in his early career, so definitely got to thank Mr. Gibbs for that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. He tested some cars for him, and his brother worked there with him up until recently. So yeah, they have a connection for sure.
Yeah, Jeremy's brother Jason, almost 20 years with
Yep.
Joe Gibbs Racing. And Jason, Jeremy's brother, has shared, and I think it's okay to share this here, that there were times that Jeremy was up, driving Kyle Busch's car, testing Kyle Busch's car. And Jason's like, "Mark, I saw the lap times. He was running right there with Kyle, if not a little bit better occasionally." He said he's got the talent and skills to be there, but Jeremy also loves his independent team and loves Spartanburg. And, he stayed with this, and that's to our benefit. But I think all of us here as well would love to see him get that chance to also race on Sundays.
Yeah, I definitely get some slack off of me being a Kyle Busch fan, but it all started with the number 51 for me as being, Kyle Busch's number, and then hearing Jeremy on the radio, and starting to realize him on the track, and that's kind of how it rolled. So it started with Rowdy, the number 51, meeting you guys, going to see the car, and you guys welcomed me like I was family from the first time I met you guys, and I really appreciate that.
Y'all have probably heard the story talking about the 51 where, of course, Jeremy got that number years ago now, which Kyle approached him and said, "Hey, I'd like to have the 51 Xfinity number." And they exchanged numbers, and the numbers got close together enough to where he would sell it. I don't know what those numbers were. But Jeremy's like, "You gotta have to put some more zeros on it."
Yeah, I had never heard that before, but
yeah, he did. And like I said, I don't know the details, nor do I really want to, but he did approach him and said, "Hey, I'd like to have that 51 Xfinity." He's like, "Well, you can have it." And I think he made an offer, made a run at it, and it never worked out. So I don't know what it ended up being, but I'm glad he didn't, because that's keep the same number for your whole career. And it's a very, historical number for a lot of different reasons, whether it's from movies or the track or who's had the number, whether it's, in trucks or in cups. So I'm glad he still got it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you brought it up. I was a huge Rowdy Burns fan,
That's right.
growing up. So, the 51 has been with me along with the number 13, in racing for years and years and years.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That is great. All the
It's
way
pretty
around.
funny though. I mean, like just your recognition of 51, like on the upper right hand corner of my phone, when I have 51% battery left, it's just like you think of him a little more than normal, I guess, being such a great fan. But it always resonates and it always puts a smile on my face. And he is so great. Jeremy is just such a um downhearted, great person. I'll text him, hey, really, you really screwed up my Saturday by not racing this weekend. I have nothing to do. He always gets a kick back up, out of it and replies with something really funny. But it's a pleasure to have him as a friend, and I'm honored to say that I'm his friend.
I will say another thing, we talked about the guys that are on the car obviously this week, but I think we'd be remiss without, talking about, as you've got one stop up there, the guys at All South Electric, First Pacific Funding, Flying Form. I mean, it doesn't matter if you were a long-term primary sponsor or if you are a first-time associate sponsor. Anybody that is contributing to the team is playing a vital role in the success of the 51 team. And for the three of us here on this side, the friendships that we've developed with those other sponsors as well, it's like winning the lottery, And, it's funny, I'll occasionally be on the phone with Steve Carnes at First Pacific Funding, and, Steve does his normal professional responsibilities. And then he takes a break and he said, I do what I love. And he starts working the phone, trying to get sponsors, to be on the car. And he said, I just love this, and the enthusiasm that someone like Ray Stevens has, at Flying Form. And Ray is walking around super stoked that the championship race is going back to Homestead, next year because Ray considers that one of his home tracks. And that guy knows how to treat his guest, and Ray's t-shirts and his car schemes, everything's always hit out of the park. Steve's car schemes are always great. I mean, again, I feel very fortunate for the product that Jeremy puts on week in and week out, and the group of people that he's assembled. The three of us are lucky to be part of this in some small way.
Yeah, that the Steve Carnes, that the Texas car, oh my gosh, it was terrific. And then the little promotion that he had worked up was really like, wow, you're not going to miss a lap watching it. It was awesome, Steve. So hats off to Steve.
Yeah, I concur.
We got to give you guys props too, because every time you guys have a paint scheme go out there, you guys kill it.
We are so proud of them. I mean, I have the diecast car in my room and in my office, and when I'm on the phone, which sometimes seems like hours in a day, I look over and I see one of the race cars and all the fun memories that it brings back. So we are definitely proud of them. And the throwback car, the Dale Earnhardt, where we won the paint scheme award or the throwback. Ryan, I mean, I'm just a participant. Ryan put in so much work, and having to get all that stuff approved from NASCAR, and I mean, it was the Wrangler car, but just the Moore family, and I mean, it was just awesome, and that's proudly just there you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
Just a great piece right there.
Yeah, look, he's got Harrison's, he got Flying Form. I mean, at one stop, all represented.
Got Goodson there, right behind the wheel. That's a good one.
But just proudly displayed, and just, I mean, you can't look at any of the memorabilia, and I mean, anything that you have, and like, that was crappy time. I mean, it's awesome. I see the little ghost on the 51, and
Martinsville car. Yeah.
I picked up a hat the other day. I put it on Saturday when I was going out in public before I was presentable, and I was like, it's got the ghost on it. Who cares? It's like, yeah.
Listen, and now nice, yeah, solid. Yeah. Well, and again, thank you to Michael Maselli with his talent on laying out car schemes there. But I will tell you, and a shout out to Tate at Alliance, who did such a great job with this Darlington throwback car. Tate's always generous with his swag. And, I was at a tennis match last week where my son they defended, won the state championship again. But, I was wearing the Alliance driveway racing hat, at the match. I took a picture and said at the Tate and said, look, I'm representing you here, and, again, happy for this. So, Yeah, listen, Dave, you'll be at the ball game, right? So I mean, we'll see you, Bobby and Robert. I'm sorry you guys aren't making it down because you know it's gonna be a fun night for us for sure.
We want to be there, but we scheduled our vacation over September so we could
September.
be with Dave and do our 100th episode down in Spartanburg.
Well, we'll see you then for sure.
Well, you guys will be at Spartan Waste. You'll be at Rockers. You get to the Spartan Burgers. I mean, yeah, you'll get to JCR. It'll be a fun time while you guys are down here.
Hopefully, the Spartanburgers are playing in the playoffs and we can actually go to a game.
Listen, there are 1 or 2 games above 500 right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, for its first season, this is pretty solid.
I know some people over there, so we can get you to the stadium.
Yeah, we can actually give you the VIP experience.
Just,
All
So
right.
we
just
don't need
happened
to
to,
sneak in and climb over the fence or anything like that.
No,
Yeah, we'll just claim we're servicing the compactors.
I was,
There we
I was
go.
just about ready to say. Well,
All right.
listen, as a human interest story, and it has a happy ending, although it seems horrific when you hear about it. Mark, you need to share what happened to your mom.
Okay. We are fortunate enough to have 4 seats at the game. We were also invited to a friend of ours to sit in their suite, to go and they said, yeah, well, just you're invited, your mom is invited, your father-in-law is invited or whatever. And he had not been, he just lives in Greenville, but he came. So we had a great presence. The weather was, perfect 72. And all of a sudden, I'm getting some food, making sure oh my God, I'm not trying not to talk too much about this, but all of a sudden everybody starts screaming like this, that's a little odd. Something's happened. You hear the crack, the ball, and then all hell breaks loose. My mom, who is 80 years old, got drilled in the face by a ball.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's okay, but I mean, it knocked her almost out of her chair. EMS came up there, it stopped the game.
You had people, representatives from the team
We had
immediately there, our friends.
and Essie, they were there in minutes, and they're like, okay. So after they realized that she wasn't gonna, croak at the game, she also all of a sudden Luke, said Luke is
Luke Feisel's the assistant GM.
yes, for the Spartanburg is like, hey, I think I can get that ball signed for you. And damn if he didn't. The next day I went to the stadium and he had the person that had hit the ball, he had to sign the baseball and gave it to me and put it on a little stand. And so I gave it to my mom. She's like, great. I will keep this in my den. But I mean, she's okay, but it's definitely bruised on the side. So she has some things to talk about at her church circle.
When all of us have skin from the car ride, and we're thrilled to have it as a souvenir or as a memento. Guess what? Jeremy is never thrilled to lose skin off of one of his cars. It's just a cost and an expense. We're happy to have it as a souvenir. So I can understand why Linda was not necessarily thrilled to have this.
Yeah, I mean, as far as and Dana is another lady that works in our office. And she saw it happen and she ran over from, a couple boxes down and came to check on her. She's like, Mamo, she's affectionately known by Mamo. And Jeremy was at the game. He came up and checked on her. And so we have a little picture of her with around Jeremy's giving her a hug. But yeah, it was awesome that we had such great support. Unfortunately that it happened, but glad she's okay. Yeah, that was probably more than you asked for.
It's just a tie into how great the Spartanburgers team and the organization is.
So since the last time you guys were on, which was last year, what's new with you guys?
I think as far as Spartan Waste is concerned, things with our business are very strong and very good. And we continue to grow, which we're doing exactly what we hope to be doing. And again, at this age, we've got a vehicle right now that not only, we can run our business model how we see fit, but we are fortunate enough to have discretionary income in which we can support other things around the community. So as far as I'm concerned, we've won the lotto and I can let Ryan speak to himself on his business empire, which is more than just the radio station.
Well, yeah, it is, but the on the station side, things have changed with the introduction of the baseball, which will have 100+ broadcasts we'll do with them. So we're excited about that, and it's early on, but we've really enjoyed doing that. It's opened up some more opportunities with other sponsors and other events that we can do. So it's been pretty exciting. So it's keeping me really busy, which is good. And other businessmen are going well. So I don't have anything to complain about, and get to do fun things like this with friends and new friends, and get to go to the track almost whenever I want to. So I have no complaints.
Listen, I will tell you that, Ryan has a daughter in college and one that's a junior in high school that, Ryan's younger daughter was in the 5A, so big school division, South Carolina state championship for girls lacrosse. And unfortunately ended up on the short side of the stick, but that state championship game happened on the same day as Talladega. So poor Ryan missed out on the festivities, but you celebrated your family.
That's right.
So we all three of us equally had a good time, just in different arenas.
I did take a selfie with a Fox Sports Spartanburg shirt on, and just said, in honor of you not being here, I do miss you and support what you're doing.
But I will say I did have, other than you guys, which I expected it from y'all, but I had numerous people say, I didn't see you in Talladega. I knew something was going on. But yeah, something was going on. We had the state championship game, which we had a pretty good idea that was going to happen, but until they actually make the game, you don't know. So I'm always going into Talladega until I'm not. And in that instance, I was not.
A nice thing for Ryan's younger daughter, they are, junior class heavy. They return a lot of talent next year, so they've got a great opportunity, to potentially be the champions next year. And if that falls on the same Talladega weekend, well, then we will be celebrating for you.
That's
Well, we might need to miss the race to go support Virginia.
So yeah, I stay busy with kids in school, but do get to go to the track and do the things that I love. So since the last time we've been on, I'd say everything is in pretty good shape.
I would like to give kudos to Julie, because she loves it just as much as he does. And
this is Ryan's wife, by the way.
Yeah. And when you see Julie, she is always just so great and talkative, and just supports every look. So it's always a pleasure to see Ryan at the track. But I would say 90% of the time Julie is right there by his side, and it's awesome to see this a true hardcore family race fan.
It's true. Thank you.
I will tell you that we've got, we're entering this busy season between our kids and their activities, but, for USC Upstate, a member of the Big South Conference, and someone that, Spartan Waste has a formal partnership with Upstate. Ryan does as well, as Fox Sports Spartanburg, and is the voice of the college, that their men's golf team won the Big South Conference. Their ladies softball team defended, won the Big South Conference this year as well. Both are playing currently in the NCAA tournaments for their respective sports. They've got their annual fundraiser is Saturday night, the Spartan Ball, that all of us will be in attendance, which is a great night in Spartanburg. And, again, for that being a public institution, of higher learning here in town, that at least for Mark and I, we have a lot of customers that have kids that live at home and commute into USC Upstate. We are proud of those guys and their success. And again, as a leadership group, starting with Dr. Benny as chancellor of the school, and then just the athletic administration, the guys that we deal with, Matt Martin, the AD, Lenny Mathis, Matty Courier, and the others on that staff, again, it's like dealing with the Clements family. They're wonderful, wonderful people to deal with. And I will show you one other thing we've got in the office here, just because it's pertinent. They did a fundraiser and a throwback event this year, honoring, our Hub City heritage. And, I saw this and I was like, holy cow, like they only had 101. I was like, we need to win this. We need to win this for supporting the university so it can be in our office. They did a commemorative jersey. We won one of those as well. But again, Bobby, when you're in town, and Robert, we'll get you onto campus, get you to meet some of those guys as well, because they're big supporters of Jeremy Clements.
Nice. Thank you.
That sounds awesome.
So Rob and I've been talking about this back and forth, back and forth. When is when does Jeremy beat the record for Kenny Wallace? What race?
Well, since the schedule is not out yet, we don't know. The schedule will drop sometime in the fall. It can be October, it could be almost into November. But if the math is correct, which is going to be close, it will be race number 18, whatever race that is, because those races will move by a week or two. So you could go to the traditional 18th week race and be close. It's going to be around July 4th, depending on where the races land.
Nashville, maybe?
Well, it could be Chicago if they go back, which there's a lot of speculation there, but race 17 will tie and race 18 will set the record. So as the calendar can move, it's not an Olympic year, so we don't have to factor that in, but the dates are going to bounce around a little bit. So you can get close on traditional dates. So if it's July 4th weekend, it may or may not be Chicago. It may be potentially another street course is what we're hearing, but it'll be the end of June, July-ish, but that could move 2 or 3 weeks depending on when the off weeks are, what dates get added or dropped. But that's the short version is events number 17 and 18 will be the ones to mark on your calendar.
And this is exactly why I like to sit next to Ryan during any type of trivia situation, because he is on it.
The other thing that's a certainty right now is as soon as the schedule drops, Ryan Delaney has flights and hotel rooms booked for every single race. Last year you might have been to 30 out of 33 races or something. Sure. This year obviously he's missed some because of kid commitments, and that's okay. But believe me, all of us will be there when that record's broken, no matter where that race is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. So hopefully we'll get an early release on that schedule so everybody can kind of hone in on that weekend, because we obviously want to try to have everybody there, or as many people as can be there. So I think, and I'm sure we will.
Well, I was just looking. So if Michigan comes back, you got Michigan, Pocono, Atlanta, Chicago, Sonoma.
Yeah. So it could be, within a couple, 3 weeks on either side, really.
I know, I can't remember what race it was. It was like 3 races ago under a caution. Jeremy Spotter RC was talking about, it was at Texas actually, that there was rumor in the spotter stand that Texas, Kansas, and Las Vegas NASCAR was going to make into a super speedway. And then they also talked about going to a road course or street race in San Diego. That was another rumor he mentioned. I can't remember what the other thing was. There was something else. But I did hear a couple things where they were talking about possibly coming back to Road America here in Wisconsin instead of Chicago. And I did hear also the, like I said, the San Diego street course race. So who knows? Either way, I don't care where it's at. I definitely would want to try to be there.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to, and it could be both San Diego, and they're still wanting to do the thing in Canada, which is kind of how Mexico got the date they have. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see them go to the road course there, not the street course. And you could see both San Diego and I guess that's outside Montreal.
Yeah.
So I think both of those could happen. Maybe not next year, but I think they'll be in the rotation, because when Chicago, at this point, I don't think it's their race necessarily to give up, because I think NASCAR can not renew. It'll be a two-way option. They can say we want it, NASCAR can say tough luck, or vice versa. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think they'll move it from Chicago, which I would like to see it do Chicago and somewhere else. But we'll see.
Rob, I think for you being in Wisconsin, and obviously that course was incredibly supportive, to that race. With Jeremy getting his first win in the Xfinity Series up there, how amazing would it be if just coincidentally that lined up and that was the race where Jeremy broke the record. If we were back on that course,
That'd be cool.
we have no influence, unfortunately, to tell NASCAR.
But
Hey,
I think maybe now that you said that, I didn't even think about that. Maybe we need to set a petition up and send it to NASCAR or Steve France or Elton
I'll
Sawyer.
yeah, no, seriously, it would be incredible. I think seeing the video of the fans in Wisconsin lined up for the Hauler Parade coming in, it just, listen, just a damn shame that they're not there right now. Although truthfully, it also wouldn't suck to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a good place to visit. Race, but I would love to see that happen in Wisconsin again.
Yeah, it's
it
a
will.
beautiful track. I don't know if you guys have been there or not, but it's basically like a big state park with a racetrack in the middle of it. It is amazing. Yeah. So, but
All right.
yeah,
well, I know you guys
I personally
have,
would love it, but
I know you guys are wanting to get out of here, go home, not sit in your offices.
No, this is always a welcome, thing for us to be doing. So we thank you guys again.
I'm sitting here with great friends having a cold beer. So, I mean, I'm so content right now. This is great.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, let's go for 10.
by the way,
Ryan is the one who picked the beer up for this event tonight. So we thank Ryan for this.
Cheers.
by the way, I was going to say I'm actually wearing
I
don't
see
know if you
it.
can see the other
The
t-shirt.
first edition.
There you go.
The
I
first
love it.
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so
classic.
yes. So I just so happened to put it on today, and I'm like, that's right, Ryan, Mark, and Mark are going to be on. So
But the other thing, we'll get care boxes out to you and Bobby, and then Dave, you'll pick yours up when you're in Spartanburg. But we just need the koozie and the bobblehead to come in on Friday before we can get the boxes out, because we'll ship everything out all at once.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you so much. You guys are too generous. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Bobby,
We
tell
can't
Adrian
wait to
hello
see you
from
guys
us
in
all.
person again in September.
That sounds great. Yeah, I don't know, Bob, if you just heard that. Mark said make sure you tell Adrian we all said hello.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yep, that'll work.
She's
All righty,
watching.
guys. Well, have a good rest of the evening.
Yeah, you too.
You
I'll
guys
see
as well.
Wednesday.
All right,
Cheers.
see you guys. Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. So that was Mark, and Ryan, episode 71. Can you guys believe that it is May 13th and we're at episode 71?
Yeah, and we couldn't have a better show for the 71st, because I mean, you talk about guys that bust their ass all day, support their hometown, and support just the driver that we support. I mean, you don't hear a lot of sponsors talk about their driver or this, that, and the other. They're 150% backed of supporting Jeremy and everything he does, plus giving back to the community that they live in.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. That's a huge thing, that they are so involved in their communities that they work and live in, and give back to it, that it's amazing. They're just such great human beings, and are so generous with their time and also the resources that they have.
Yeah, and I did hear you can tell that they're proud, to be from Spartanburg. What's nice is I've lived here, going on 9 years now, and there has been a complete 180 of the Spartanburg area. It used to be just an industrial town. Now it's a nice place just to walk around. Like RJ Rockers. I would say 300 yards would probably be a farther walk from the ball field. And it just happened that last time I was there, they were still building the stadium, and it was beautiful then. I can only imagine what it looks like inside.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it in September. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
So
me neither.
I mean,
that's going to be exciting.
the cool thing I want to see a video of is Jeremy driving his race car into the stadium and stuff. I think that will be pretty cool and something to see. But yeah, I've seen some videos of social media from the baseball team, and that the stadium looks electric. It looks awesome, and it looks like everybody's having a good time. And
Yeah, I know if I don't have a video, there'll definitely be cameras out, you know, from just the local television. You know, it's
Yeah.
not very often you see a Xfinity car, let alone a race car, drive down, because I want to say it's still brick on the road that he's going to be driving through. So could get a little sketchy. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, when I FaceTime you to show you the video, I'm sure they're gonna have that live. Cause they go live about 10, 15 minutes before the show. Or before the game starts, doing pre-game and all that. So I'm sure that they'll have videos of that, and they always show the first pitch. So that's gonna be exciting watching Jeremy. See if he'll throw a strike or if he'll throw a ball.
So, yeah,
hopefully it's
I
not like 50 Cent.
just bounced it off a cheerleader in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I think it wasn't 50 Cent the one that like threw it like on a like 45-degree angle off to the side, or
Oh yeah, he damn near threw it he damn near had a first base pickoff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was something. I mean, there's been some dandies over the years, but like they said, Jeremy's pretty athletic, and I have full confidence in him that he'll be able to throw the ball over the plate.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but we have a little bit of inside information from his sister, and I think we all know what his walkout song should be. Almost like a closer. You
Yep.
gotta throw on the old Heartbreak Kid, while Jeremy's walking to the mound. Yeah.
That would be good.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
I might have to make a call or two.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
He would probably like stop in his tracks and be like, "What?"
Right. There's only a couple handful of people.
Yeah.
Now, Rob's gonna have his show on tomorrow or Thursday. Not quite
Yep.
sure. But I want to thank you, Rob, since we haven't. This is the first time we've all been on in probably 4 weeks.
Yeah, at
together.
least.
So we want to thank you for doing the race recap. We greatly appreciate it. Keep up the
No
good
problem.
work.
I enjoy it.
Dave, thank you for jumping on week in, week out.
Well, no
Greatly
worries.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys for taking up the slack with me not being on. I greatly appreciate it. So
Yeah, it's definitely not the same without all three of us.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna start going through our rundown. I might lose my voice. Remember, guys, if you haven't done so, please check out stickygears.com and purchase one of the Area 51 Racing podcast t-shirts for just $15. A portion of the money goes directly to Jeremy Clements Racing to keep Jeremy on the track. Also, if you need any tumblers, cup stickers, shirts like Dave has on. Dave, why don't you say something so it shows you real quick?
Yep, I got you. I got the Charlotte car or Atlanta car from last year. Or no, I'm sorry, this is a Pocono car from last year. She also made me the Mark Martin throwback shirt as well.
Yeah, the Atlanta car.
Yeah.
Here's one of the tumblers that Anna made. Bobby's got another one.
Yeah, I've got this one actually. So, I want to give a shout out to Hunter. He won our tumbler last week. So obviously I didn't want to copy. I didn't want anything close to that. So I told Anna, I said, hey, I want another one of these. Like, I want to be able to drink out of it. But here's the catch. I want it to be more. I want it to pop. So what she did is she made the Area 51 the same size, maybe brought it up a little bit. The checkered flag goes down right to the Area 51, and then in the orange, it's got black in it. So it actually, you guys will see it. I'll send you a picture of it, but it came out absolutely stunning. So I'll be able to use that one instead of monkeying that one up because that one actually looks really good. Plus, Jared, that's the only thing I have that's personalized to me from Jeremy. So I'm hoping to get something when we go down to Charlotte in September. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. I was gonna say no, it's not. I have the deck lid, but he didn't personalize it. Other than that, I want to give a shout out to Anna with everything that she did last week and doing the giveaway for Hunter and the she sold a couple of those sweatshirts, the rhinestone sweatshirts.
Yeah, look, a little monkey in my ear said you got one possibly delivered to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrian got one because it's glitter.
Right.
I got one too. I was the other person.
Right. Huh? That's who I was talking about, but
yeah.
Oh, no, Adrian got one too. You got one too, Rob?
No, I got a couple of custom t-shirts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I know that we're gonna be having our t-shirts coming up. I actually was told that they're coming within the week. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with the guys as soon as I get it.
The design from
Yep.
Chad.
Yep, they are on their way. They're piecing stuff together so that way it'll be to us. So I'm pretty excited about that. Once those get finalized, then Anna will get them. We will do a pre-sale and then start getting them made. So that way we can start shipping them out for our 100th episode. She's going to be doing t-shirts, sweatshirts, and that's it. We were going to do koozies, but I think it's too much.
Can you guys believe that's only 29 episodes away?
I know. It's only, I was literally counting down the weeks till our vacation, and I'm like, holy crap, we're under 100 now.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing. You know, it's already middle of May. It's crazy.
Right. Like, what the heck's going on? Like, this year is just flown by.
We've literally done 21 episodes this year already.
Yeah, it's 121 days. I thought it was I thought it was just 100, but it was 121. Yeah. Gale Beard Products is a partner of Area 51 Racing Podcast. Go to go to Gale Beard Products, and when you go to check out, it's galebeard.com. Type in the code Area 51 to get 15% off and free shipping. Remember, guys, make them say it. Gale.
Gale.
Check out the Racing Warehouse website for Jeremy Clements gear, door panels, all sorts of stuff. I actually just seen a couple panels posted the other day. Dave, can you verify?
I cannot verify. I've been told not to. So I literally have no more room for any more shit down in my basement. It's getting ridiculous. I now have car parts in just about every damn room that I own, plus outbuildings. It's starting to become a real problem. I'm thinking, narcotics might be a safer choice.
Oh my God.
That's not good.
Well, since you're talking about stuff that Jeremy Clements door panel from the repairable vehicles, The matching other side door panel is on eBay for $338, I think.
Which one?
That one, the 51. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been on there for, I don't know, probably a month or so, month and a half.
Also, make sure you guys check out Armadillo Apparel for all your merchandise, shirts and hats and all that good stuff. That like the hat Dave has on, the hat Rob has on, my polo that I did have on at the beginning of the show. I mean, I still have it on, but it's kind of tucked in here. But yeah, this one. Circle B Diecast is the official diecast store for Area 51. Go to circleb.com and use the code Area 51 for $6 off your shipping. And I can say that I used it twice this week.
I find that hard to believe, Bobby.
Yeah, I know. I had to buy some late model stuff. So it's all right. Plus I have my Jeremy Clemens pre-order in. So hopefully.
Yep, they just got the Losi cars in for the 22 and Chase Elliott. So
you bought 5 of the 22 ones.
No, but I may have bought one.
Oh no.
That Dave texted me
For
the
our
other day and
listeners,
said, "Hey,
Dave's not a Joey Logano fan, so we all joke about Joey Logano stuff with Dave's, just giving him a hard time.
yeah, no, he did tell me, he's like, hey, go get your Losi diecast or your Losi car," and I'm like, oh no. So I got on there and looked, and I'm like, ooh, they have last year's. So I clicked, and I'm like, all right, let's go. So that's one of those orders. But check out Benzik Designs for your diecast displays. As you've seen earlier when I had the Spartan Waste cars on there. He has 1/24th, 1/18th, and 1/64th stands. We actually just got a couple 1/64ths in here, and they actually look pretty cool. Adrian put some of her New York City diecast on them. If you guys are interested with ordering any, use Area 51 for 20% off your order. If you're interested in purchasing any of Kylie Glick's merchandise, please go to Kylie Glick Racing on her Facebook page and click on the link for new merchandise. And she just posted a couple of new things. Please make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and listen to our Spotify, YouTube. Check out Facebook, X, and Instagram at Area 51 Racing Podcast. Want to give a shout out to Mark, and Ryan for everything that they do for us week in and week out. We greatly appreciate it. I'd like to give a shout out to all of our partners who make the podcast possible: Spartan Waste, Fox Sports Spartanburg, Harrison's, Action RV, Kylie Glick Racing, Mattman Designs, The Runner's Roost, Alliance Driveway Solutions, Anamore Designs, Circle B Diecast, Driven Sunglasses and Driven Trackside, Elite Towing and Recovery, High Speed Auto, Booze Pops, The Racing Warehouse, Armadillo Apparel, Belcher Cheesecake Creations, Fly Inform Concrete Structures, First Pacific Funding, Sherfit Companies, Gale Beard Products, Wings Etc., Dialed In, Focus Pouches by Whitetail Smokeless, Benzik Designs, Schanzenbach Landscaping, Enigma Tattoo, Aero Parts Group, and obviously Jeremy Clements and Jeremy Clements Racing. Rob, Dave, you got anything else?
now the Tigers bullpen has just given up 4 runs in the 8th inning, so I'm not happy right now.
What's
So
the score?
It is 8-8 as of right now.
8-8.
Yeah.
Go Red Sox, baby. Go Red Sox. Sorry. I had to.
Hey, at least your team can score runs. The Brewers, they've just went.
Hey,
So-
Dave, you can't be mad when you guys whooped our butt last night, 14-2. So I mean, chin
was-
up, soldier.
Right. That was a good outing. You know, we've I think I heard a stat earlier that was we scored 10, 16 10-run games this year. So the bats are there.
Hey, all I can say, go Red Sox. All right, y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to you next week. Oh, actually, Rob will see you guys next week because it's just Rob's show.
Hey Bobby, I got one thing to say for you.
What?
Go ahead and roll that outro.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, we'll see you guys next week.